Good morning, traders. Welcome to another episode of Market Mornings. I'm Reed, your host, and we're going to get into what's moving the markets, what I'm watching this week, and where are the trades? What industry should we be looking at? So we're going to be quick and to the point. I don't want to take up too much of your time. And first, as always, a disclaimer that this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Make sure you consult with a financial advisor before you make any important financial decisions. And also, some of the links that I'll talk about, we use them to support the channel, and this is at no extra cost to you. So first, as always, we'll give you a quick market snapshot. The S&P 500 is up 0.03%. The Nasdaq is down actually 0.05%. And this is as of 6:40 this morning. And the U.S. 10-year Treasury is at 4.48%. Bitcoin surging a little bit at 107, 130, and the stocks Europe 600 is coming in down 0.1% right now. So that brings us to some of the top headlines. And I guess the biggest thing in early news is U.S. and China talks spark a bull run in the Hong Kong market. So the U.S. is set to begin talks again in Hong Kong this morning, starting Monday, and that's drove the Hang Seng China Enterprise Index up close to 1.7%. And since its low point in April 7th, it's up 20%. And this is mostly technology and e-commerce shares. As you know, those have been the heaviest hit based on the tariffs. I guess that's good news. Good news for the market that these guys are sitting down and talking again, and not trading jabs without talking. Because if you know that last week Trump and Xi Jinping, or however you say his name properly, Trump said he was hard to deal with, and he's a little bit more of a he's not an easy win like he thought. So we'll continue to watch that, and also this is going to be focused on rare earths. As you know, China holds about all 90% or basically all of the access to rare earth minerals that are used in they're going to be heavily used in AI development, like chips and semiconductors and all that stuff. So this talk is going to be focused around that, and maybe working out a deal that could hopefully bring these tariffs down and put an end to these shenanigans. Because I like my cheap goods from China. So I don't really buy too much off Temu, but I may, and I don't want to pay double the price. Especially TikTok. I like TikTok as far as the shop. I was just getting into the shop, but now it's getting a little expensive. So hopefully they get that together and get these tariffs off the board. So another thing in the news. Yeah, if you've been following my stream, I've been talking about Qualcomm at least for the last couple of weeks. It's been on my stock watch list for the week, and I think they're up about 4% since I've been mentioning them. But something big happened. They agreed to buy chip firm AlphaWave for $2.4 billion cash, and they're a London-based semiconductor company. And the offer equates to about 183 cents per share. So that's as you can see, AlphaWave stock is up about 25%, and pre-market Qualcomm's up about 1.1%. So they are. This is a good deal. Like I said, that's a 96% premium to the company's share price on March 31st. So I didn't know much about AlphaWave, but I don't actually didn't know anything about AlphaWave. But Qualcomm looks to be doing all the right things to be a big player in the semiconductor game. So They are, as you can see later, they are still on my watch list for the week. Meta's back in the news as well, and they're set to throw billions, kind of trying to follow the same trend. They're set to throw billions at a AI startup company. That company is called Scale AI. It's probably not a household name, like the likes of OpenAI, but the company has gained significant influence in the tech and policy circles in recent years. So Meta's looking to kind of right some of the wrongs that they've had since investing a ton of money in AI development and still being, you know, not a leader in the pack. If you know about the Deep Seek missile that kind of upended the tech world, um, and so I won't say they were still recovering from that, but that took a lot of wind out of their sail. The stock has done great since then, but just because of all of the potential that Meta has, I think I probably had an opportunity to get in when it was like 400 and something, and didn't take that opportunity. Excuse me, guys, I got a cough going on this morning. but but yeah, but they're trying to get back into the mix here, with purchasing this company and maybe trying to, like I said, right some of their wrongs, catch up. They're playing catch up. Um, Another thing that may be spurring the China talks, and China has some leverage, like I said, because they have the rare earth minerals. Probably all of them. I don't know. We'll have to check Africa. I don't know what Africa is doing on that, but China, their exports to the U.S. have also slumped big time, as you can see from this chart. The rest of the world, their exports to everywhere else are doing pretty good. Definitely over their growth target, but as you can see from the pink line, the U.S. is down big, and that's we can attribute that to the Trump tariffs. Nobody wants to pay 145% tariff on product that that they were that they probably I won't say probably don't need, but I know I buy a lot of stuff off of Amazon, TikTok, stuff like that I probably don't need, but I get it because it's at a good price. And I'm also noticing some of the shelves are a little bit empty. I don't have as many options, so I want those options to come back. So we look for this to help out in the negotiations and kind of make China, make a good deal, make a deal, period. Because before, I think they were saying we don't need you, and maybe this says otherwise. Apple's in the news as well. Their worldwide developer conference kicks off this week, and it's based around their iOS 26 because they don't have much else to offer. We already know they're not a leader in AI, so they're basing this conference around, product software redesigns, and stuff like that, because they're still a sideline on the AI market. I'm sure they're really not on the good side of this administration, so I'm sure they're going to do something, maybe some type of merger or acquisition to like Meta did, to put themselves back in the AI race or in the AI hunt. But right now, all they got is iOS 26. So, um, you know, I mean, we get updates from them all the time. I don't think anything's changed from the iPhone 8, if you ask me, but that's just me. So, like I said, they're not. This conference is going to reiterate that they're not big, and they're not a big AI leader. And Tim Cook's got some work to do on that front. But all in all, I believe in them. Another, I don't have a slide on it, but another noteworthy thing to watch this week is the 30-year bond auction on Thursday. Everyone's watching it. It could shake things up if the demand continues to be weak. If you know about bonds, if not, do some research on it. But this is how, I won't say the U.S., but we sell this investment to the world, and right now demand's pretty weak on it. I think it's over 5%, which is the higher that percentage goes, which means they have to give up that much premium to get people to buy those bonds. So you want that to be under 5, I guess, around 4.5, essentially. But we'll watch that and see how and it's a $22 billion offering. So now let's get right into the charts and see what's pre-market movers. We got Tesla. Tesla's down a little bit pre-market. They continue their slide from last week to 290.41 pre-market. As you can see, they the momentum is gaining, but it's definitely in a oversold position. But it's it's pretty strong. It's a pretty strong downtrend right now. So we could see them go to 270 or something like that. But overall, I think Tesla's a good company. They got a lot of debt, but I mean, we all know the problem. It's Musk. Musk keeps getting into these culture battles. And in this one, he got to round 3 and said no mas. Tapped out a little bit. We don't know if we're gonna get round 4 of this. They haven't been, him and Trump. They haven't been going back and forth directly. There is some indirect. If you want to look at your Twitter, your X, there is some indirect talks, or subs, as the young ones would say. They subtweeting each other right now, but nothing direct. So this is a clear hit on Elon. He's not winning this battle right now. Then you have Robinhood. Robinhood is down pre-market about 5%, and this is mostly based on them not being added to the S&P 500, like many anticipated they would. I don't see it going under 72.35, and that's because, for one, they're a good long-term play, and I'll just say this real quick. They're set to be one of the main benefactors of the world's largest wealth transfer. That's baby boomers leaving their inheritance to their children, and a lot of them being retail investors. I guess the thought is that they're going to take that money and try to invest some of it at least. And one of the easiest to use platforms is Robinhood. Secondly, Bitcoin's up, and a lot of people use them to purchase Bitcoin. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Archer Aviation. If you've been following my channel, a while back, I talked about Archer Aviation and it being an Olympic play for the Olympics in LA. And they're supposedly, the rumor is they're going to transport, I don't know how true this is, so do your own research, but supposedly they're going to transport athletes. LA's traffic is terrible. So they're going to, they're going to transport people around. And they're up 12% right now, but this is based on a Trump drone order. Trump, as you can see here, pre-market trading following an executive order by Donald Trump aimed at boosting electric air taxis and enhancing U.S. drone defenses. So, yeah, we'll continue to monitor Archer Aviation. Some of the, I guess, sympathy plays based on that is Joby Aviation. They're up 11%. Vertical Aerospace is up 9%, and Blade Air Mobility, they were up 2%, but they seem to be up a little bit more than that. So as you can see, they're reaching some fib levels of 200 and the 2.61, which is 200 and some percent extension. So yeah, so those are some of the market movers. Now we'll go into my watch list. These are stocks that this will be my weekly watch list, or my watch list for the week. And these are, just some plays that I think will do good if you invest in them. The main one, or the first one that we'll get into, is Coinbase. Coinbase's pre-market, they're at 258. I'm actually bearish on them right now because I think they're reaching. Let's change this to a retracement. I think they're reaching some levels. Um, they reached the 100% retracement. So and they came back down. And they're approaching this level again. If it gains some support right here at 257, then I think it'd be a good buy opportunity. But honestly, my number is 240. That's where I would buy in at. 241 to 245. Those are the levels I would look at to get in. If you're not already in, if you're in, just ride it. But if you're not already in and you're looking to do that, look for a rejection at 61, which is up here, and hopefully you get into this buy range right here. Qualcomm, we talked about Qualcomm, the acquisition that they recently did. Right now, pre-market they're at 150. I'm bullish on them. I look for them to continue to run, somewhere around over 200 actually, if you ask me. But just hopefully if they gain some stability right here where they are pre-market, they could go to 154 or 156 this week. And that's, like I said, that's based on the AI buyout of Alphaware, adding some juice to them. Then we got C Limited. C Limited is one of my, probably a long-term play for me because I'm actually bearish on them right now. I look for them a good buy zone at the 157 mark, which is around here, and then to just ride that back up to similar levels where it's at now. So because they're still on a downtrend, and there's a double top maybe forming, kind of a double top right here. It didn't go down off of that, but I'm bearish on it right now until it gets to the 157 area, 157 to 160. Then we have PayPal. PayPal is another one that I'll keep on the watch list for the week. I'm we're looking, I mean, I'm actually bullish on them up until probably 74 this week. Now it could continue to run. If you're looking for a good buy zone, I would say 71 to 73 pre-market. It's at almost at 74 right now. So you may have missed that boat. We talked about it down here um, on June 2nd, and it's up how much percentage? About 6% since then. But like I said, they have steady structure, strong RSI. It's not too overbought. You got some momentum and shifting a little bit, as you can see right here, but it's still strong. And implied volatility is in a mid range, about 7. So we're not too concerned about that. We think it'll still trade within this area here for the week. And we got on holding ON is a ticker. Like I said, we got that bearish divergence going on with this one. So that could signal a huge drop. The RSI is fading, and it's in a it's in a buy zone right here, but I'm honestly not. I'm scared of it falling below this 55. If it falls below this 55, you could see some really low numbers. You could see 48, 47, 38 even. But there's always a but. If it does consolidate around the 55 mark and get some good you know good momentum, good strength with that, consolidates here, which it's kind of doing right now. We could see it retrace back up to 61, and and that's a good 10% return. So continue to watch that. Like I said, if it consolidates and gains support at 55.92, then buy it, especially if this 200 EMA creeps up to that level as well, that'll off act as further support, and be a good buying opportunity for you. And last but not least, actually it's not last, but best buy is continuing to rebound, as you can see here, off of May 25. It's up not about, but it's up 14% since that point. Um, Pre-market, it's at 73.35, the level that we talked about. It hitting 73. It likely will bounce off of the 73.90 and probably trade and consolidate in this range, and then before it looks to go to 76. Um, so so yeah, I mean, it's got solid EMA. The EMA has been up. As you can see, it's green. So it's kind of reclaiming that territory and building momentum, as you can see right here in this change, and it's building. The volume's at almost a 500,000. RSI is climbing. A lot of strength in there. Implied volatility is it's low right now. So that kind of hints. As you can see, um, there was a pullback towards the end of the week, but like I said, pre-market it's up. So we could get, like I said, consolidate here, trade within this range, probably bounce out of there, and then go to 76. That's my prediction. And then last but not least, Alcoa. I mean, I missed it last week. I had a butterfly trade at 27. Should have chose 28. But that's exactly where it closed, 28.01. And right now, pre-market, it's up about 5 cents at 28.06. Actually, I'm sorry, 33 cents at 28.33. It likely will bounce off of this zero mark here on the retracement and come back down to 26, which I I consider a good buy area. Or it could break out of this and extend to almost $30. So just watch pre-market on this one. Take a watch. I'm mixed on that. So take a watch and see, wait and see approach on that one. So I think that's all I have. We'll maybe look at a couple more. Black Sky. This was another recommendation that I got. Um, I mean, yeah, I haven't. I mean, it's got strong momentum, so it could continue to run. RSI is not too overbought. Has some strength there. Applied volatility is low, so we may get a pullback and offer, and that would represent. Excuse me, that will represent a buy opportunity for you guys, to get in it and maybe a day trade, maybe ride it out for a day or so. But I mean, I like it. It's in the right area. Well, it's in a area to. I mean, they're packaging software technology, so I like them. And we'll always take a look at. Let's take a look at Palantir, some of the Mag 7 stuff. Mag 7 is rebounding. Palantir is rebounding off of 219. Man, I wish I would have got in at that point to ride this momentum. Right now, it's coming off. It's building. Momentum is building. Looking for that yellow light to change, and there's a good buy-in opportunity. Tesla, we already talked about them. Microsoft. Microsoft is a slow rising giant. Um, for a big name, and they over the last 30 days they're up 10%. You can't. Those are solid returns. You can't beat that. Apple, already looked at them. Apple's they're up pre-market. Nvidia. Let's check out Nvidia real quick. Nvidia, like I said, I had these levels marked. This is the ceiling that they've been trying to get over, at about where they are now, pre-market 143.69. Then we have this level here at 137, and then we have this level here at 132. If it consolidates here, then it'll go. If not, I think it's going to either fall to the 37 or worst case, the 32, and then that's going to be your buy point to ride up again. They're not going anywhere. Morgan Stanley highlighted NVIDIA as critical in AI spending. So anybody in AI that's looking to do anything, they're gonna have to purchase from NVIDIA. So they'll continue to be in the news and be a leader. So they'll continue to be a leader in the news and in the market of AI space. I mean, they're not going anywhere. All you can look for in these guys is buy opportunities, and I'm lining out three of them for you right now. So I think that's all I have for right now. If you have any stocks that you want me to check out and look up and check the charts out on, just drop them in the comments. I guess my final thoughts are China and U.S. talks. They're heating up, and that could create a huge swing in sentiment, consumer sentiment, which we know is going to benefit a huge range of stocks. So do your research on what's been truly affected by these tariffs, and those are likely going to be what those are likely going to be the stocks that benefit the most if the talks go good. If they go bad, then those are likely going to be the stocks that continue to go down. For all my shorters out there. Um, we're also watching, like I talked about, Thursday's 30-year auction that could stir some volatility. We'll monitor all week the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference to see what comes out of that. Meta and Scale AI deal. How is that going to benefit Meta? I think it benefits them greatly and gets them back into just kind of like I said, rights a little bit of the wrongs that they had over their AI spending and just the AI infrastructure all around. Like I think there are going to be a lot of big. That's going to be the big theme this week, and so look for those guys. Stick with with clean setups. Don't really take too much risk this week and avoid the FOMO. Avoid chasing the companies that are up 20 and 30%. They likely made their run. So it's really all I have for you for today. Also, make sure you continue to support the channel. Got a ton of links in my bio and down in the description. For if you're looking to get into crypto and want a safe, trusted wallet, check out Coinbase. My link's in the bio for that setup to streamline the process. If you're a little bit more savvy on the crypto and you want to trade some futures, do some copy trading, a little bit more exotic trading with them, check out BTCC.com. If you use my link in the bio, you get a 10% bonus when you start up. So that's also good. We also got some links for all my all my web developers, all my streamers, and we consolidate them on my link tree. That's also in the bio. Like I said, that's all I have for you this week. I'm Reed. This is your Market Mornings. Make sure you stay sharp, trade smart, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.